All right. Welcome to the last General Assembly meeting of the year. Round of applause. Just shaking off the rest of the GA and last week and the last one here, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'll call this meeting to order at 5:08 p.m. Chief of Staff Woody, can you lead us in a fight? Yeah, I had this energy all year. Hey. Hey. Y'all been slacking. That's the energy that I brought all year. All right, we'll now move into roll call.
President Colbert, Vice President Edwards,
Present.
President Correa, Chief of Staff Moody, Director Abdul, Assistant Director Willem, Director Johnstone, Director Cunningham, Assistant Director Battle, Director Treoy, Assistant Director Perry, Director Ramos, Director Paxton, Assistant Director Afworthy, Director Thomas, Assistant Director Dawson, Director Sutton, Director Howard, Director Nwanga, Assistant Director Pinckney, Assistant Director Sani, Director Grampiel, Assistant Director Coleman, Director Malash, Director Carr, Assistant Director Ajayi, Representative James, Representative Ntusu, Representative Moore, Representative Thompson, Representative McCauley, President Pro Tempore and Western Mayor, Government Operations Chair Crosby, President. Appropriations Chair Adesanya, Senator Brahimi, Senator Brown, Senator Crosby, Senator Dangu, Senator Duru Anomono, Senator Dobbin, Senator Hicks, Senator McGuire, Senator Moore, Senator Robinson, Senator Sedgwick, Senator White, Chief Justice McNeil, Deputy Chief Justice Adeniga, Solicitor General Brown, Deputy Solicitor General Davis, Justice Chen, Justice Bennett, Justice Olanai. Thank you.
We'll now move to the approval of the minutes. The SharePoint accessible as always. We'll now move into any amendments to the agenda. Hearing none, we'll move into guest speakers. President Coakley.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Tiger Tuesday. We are fortunate to have some guests with us today from Auxiliary Services, and Aramark here to present and share some of the dining options and plans for next semester that are going into effect. I will say, I think the plan does an excellent job at swiping out food insecurity on our campus. The fact is that less students will be food insecure, and more students will have access to better meal options in the next year. So that excites me, and I'm so glad to have you all here today. And so I'll turn the floor over to you all. Senator Brown, if you could give them the microphone.
I don't think I'm gonna need a microphone. My kids have,
We try to for accessibility.
oh, okay, I was gonna say, my kids have never told me I needed a microphone, but. Well, first off, thank you all for allowing us to come here tonight and explain a little bit about our new meal plan structure, why we decided to go with a new meal plan structure, and to answer any of your questions that we have. So first of all, my name is Jake Smith. I'm Director of Finance and Information Systems for Auxiliary Services. So how many of you know what Auxiliary Services is? Things aren't looking good, Meredith. Not many people know. So Auxiliary Services is basically, we handle a great deal of the university's revenue other than tuition. So we have nothing to do with the academic side of the house. But we have meal plans, we have the wine card, we have the ticket office. We have vending, we have printing, we have graphic services, we have the bookstore. So any number of other functions that affect you, especially if you're living on campus. So actually, I see that we have handed out the meal plan information sheets for next year. So first off, let me give you a little history. So I've been here for 9 years. One of the first things I did when I got here was I did an analysis of our meal plans versus all of our other peer institutions. And our weekly meal plans, every one of our weekly meal plans was the most expensive plan of all the institutions. Now, unfortunately, the way our dining contract works, it's very difficult to make an adjustment in the middle of a dining contract, which we were when I first came here. So, the fact that, you know, there are annual consumer price index increases already factored into the contract, it's very hard to restructure a dining program in the middle of the contract. So we had our contract ends this June 30th. So we went out to bid, and the university decided that when we went out to bid, we were going to come with a new meal plan structure. So a couple things why we went with the new meal plan structure. Number one, Jordan mentioned the food insecurity. There was concerns from several departments on campus that a lot of the kids that were living on campus were buying the cheapest meal plans because that's all they could afford. But as you know, the cheapest meal plan only gives you 10 meals per week. So where were they eating the rest of the time? Or maybe they weren't eating. So the university made a decision to all our weekly meal plans are now all-inclusive plans. So you should have access to food all throughout the week. So all-inclusive means you can swipe into a dining hall as many times as you want the entire week. There's no restrictions. Okay, so there's 4 different levels of the new meal plan. The only difference between the 4 levels is how much do you want to eat outside the dining hall? So each level that goes up gives you more meal exchanges and significantly more dining points. One of the rumors, let's say, going around that I want to dispel right now is that our meal plans next year are more expensive than our meal plans this year. That is absolutely false. Our meal plans next year will be less than our meal plans this year, cost-wise. And we are the only institution in the University System of Maryland. Every other institution went up between 5.5% and 8.8% on their meal plan. So if you take a look, some of the other differences between this year, next year, and this year. So we are going to have what we call tiger meals. A tiger meal is nothing more than a meal exchange. Now, a meal exchange is not the same thing as a meal equivalency. Meal equivalency gives you a certain dollar amount, which many of you know this year was $6.72 if you ate outside the dining hall. How many of you can get lunch for $6.72? Right. So every time you went outside the dining hall, you either had to use a meal and extra points, a meal and cash, or sometimes 2 meals. Okay? Tiger meal, you'll get a full meal. So you go to Chick-fil-A, now you won't be able to necessarily order anything off the menu, But for Chick-fil-A, we'll have 3 combo meals that are part of the Tiger Meal Exchange. So if you order one of those combo meals, you're gonna get your sandwich, you're gonna get your fries, and you're gonna get your drink for 1 meal plate. So obviously, a Tiger meal is worth a lot more than a meal exchange. So, and in addition, the top level plan, you're gonna get 7 meal exchanges per week. Now, as you know, the meal week runs Friday through Thursday. Well, now your total meals don't matter because you're getting unlimited every week. So there's no reset on your all access part. The only thing that resets is your Tiger meal. So at the end of each week, your Tiger meals will reset to seven Tiger meals or meal exchanges a week. In addition to that, instead of the $50 in dining dollars, right? Instead of dining points, now called dining dollars. Instead of 50 dining dollars with your meal plan, the top level one, you get 500. The next level, you get 4 Tiger meals a week and 300 dining dollars. The third level, 1 meal exchange, $190. And the bottom level is the cheapest one we can do. That's if you're planning on eating all your meals in the dining hall. One other change is you will now be allowed to use your retail points, which is being changed to dock dollars. So you will be able to use your retail points at on-campus dining locations if you wish. They will still be good for vending and laundry and all that other stuff, but they will also be good at dining locations on campus. The only difference between using your dining or your dock dollars, because the dining dollars are part of the meal plan, it's a tax exempt transaction. If you use your dock dollars, that's not part of the meal plan. You will have to pay tax if you're using dock dollars. That's the only difference if you're using dock dollars or dining dollars. As a result, dining dollars, as you're aware, are non-refundable, but because dock dollars are not part of the meal plan, they are refundable. So those are the only 2 differences there. Block plan basically remain the same. There are some different levels of dining dollars that come with the block plans. They're not all $75. It's 200, 150, 150, I believe, with the 100, 75, 50, and 25 block. Block plans, all of your meals are eligible for Tiger meals if you wish. In addition, I mentioned we had gone out to bid for the dining contract. We have selected a new dining service provider as well. I will turn it over to Aramark in a second and let them introduce themselves. But I just wanted to make this point. The changes in the meal plans had nothing to do with the change in the dining service provider. The meal plans were going to change whether the dining service provider stayed the same or not. So I'm going to let them give their little spiel and then be more than happy to answer any questions. Rich is going to be our on-campus head of dining services, and Amanda is the regional person who is in charge, will be in charge of Towson and University of Delaware. So I'll turn it over to them.
Well, it's great being here and seeing you all. I'm very excited to be here. I'm going to let Rich do the talking, right? He's the one that's really going to lead all of this, but I'm here to answer any questions. And like I said, happy to be here.
Hello, thank you so much for letting us be here. We are super excited. So as Jake stated, my name is Rich Coburn. I'll be the district manager overseeing the account. So some of the things that we're gonna see a little different next year, so there's a few different things, right? So currently you run on a 3-week cycle menu. So what that means is every 3 weeks, for every third week, you're gonna see the same menu, right? And then you're gonna have that variety over the 3 weeks. We run on 4-week cycle menus. So you'll see a 4-week cycle out of each of the dining halls. And then we're gonna take feedback too. So we take feedback from the students. We're gonna gather that through social media, through engagement in the dining halls. You're gonna see a lot of manager presence. So when you're dining, and then also pop-up events, and where we're gonna gain your feedback, and we're gonna look to see what you want to see different, right? What changes you want, what sort of pop-up events that you want. Some of the other things that we're gonna see, some of the bigger changes, we're gonna see some innovation changes. So we are pushing extremely hard to get the market in West Village to a 24/7 market with zip-in technology. Does anybody know what zip-in technology is? What's that?
Is that self checkout?
No, sort of, but no. So essentially, you're gonna swipe your card.
I think it's when you just swipe your card, you put anything in your cart, and you just walk out.
Exactly what it is. So you walk in, you grab your things, then you leave. So there's gonna be camera technology that's gonna follow you throughout, and sees what you pick up. It'll see what you put back to. So if you see something, you're like, oh, I don't want that. Traditional guidelines aren't there. It'll notice that too. So it's very newer technology, AI technology, but it's super exciting. And I think it's gonna be a good option specifically, obviously in West Village, because you have all the residence halls there, right? Some of the other things that we're looking at, so Glen Dining, again, surrounded by some of the dining or residence halls. We're gonna have turn that into a fresh food company. If you've ever been to University of Delaware and Cater, Caesar Ronnie. Caesar Ronnie Dining Hall is their fresh food company. It's just a fresher design, different menu concepts, different recipes. We're gonna keep the allergen station there. The difference in our allergen station versus what's currently here. So ours is called True Balance, and that eliminates the 9 top allergens. So right now, so the 9th newest is sesame. So the other 8s are pretty commonly known, your eggs, your dairy, peanuts, tree nuts, all that stuff. So, so this one's gonna eliminate the 9th, which is sesame. We're gonna have that also in West Village. It's gonna be the first station when you walk in. It's Naked Foods, so you're gonna see that in West Village as well. One of the other things in West Village you're gonna see when you walk in, there's gonna be self-order kiosks on the left wall, and that's to order your omelets, because we're gonna have an all-day omelet station by your grill. So you'll walk in, you're gonna order your omelet, go get whatever else you want to eat, have a seat, and then come back and get your omelet when it's ready. Oh, and pasta. Yeah. Pasta on the kiosk too. So MTO pasta, MTO omelet station. So a lot of different things. And then we're gonna see some other things. I'm not gonna get into years 2 and 3. But by show of hands, so who here is a senior? So you're just gonna have to come back and check it all out, right? Come see. Yeah. We're also gonna have, so the rest are returning. So you'll get to see some of this, immediately. We're also gonna have local restaurant row. So when we look at where Innovation Kitchen is, downstairs, we're gonna put local restaurant row. We're gonna partner with different companies that are within the local community. Places like Alfie is Almost Famous, That Jerk, some of Connie's Chicken and Waffles, Beals Donuts. We're gonna always kind of rotate those partners. So the concept that we are looking at for down Innovation Kitchen is one where it's going to be a monthly rotation. So every month it's going to be a different local partner that you're going to get to see that kind of variety and see that change. Where Piadina is in West Village, we're going to look for a more permanent solution for a local partner. Right now, we're still kind of vetting that process. We had a couple ideas because of the space and the equipment requirements. We still have to work that out, but there's going to be a permanent local partner in that location as well. You're gonna see Starbucks is gonna be here, Dunkin's gonna be here, Chick-fil-A is gonna stay. Aubon Pan's gonna be here for the meantime. We are looking at a potentially different option for Aubon Pan. So, and we'll see what that looks like in the years moving forward. I mean, other than that, so when we look at the program as a whole, we're gonna have a lot of different opportunities, not only to engage and to get your feedback for what we're doing in the program, but partnering with different departments like SGA, like MSA, like university governance, that we met with last week, Greek Life that we met a few weeks back. We want to kind of create different style, right? Our own style, but it's going to be your style. And we're just here to make it go. We're here to kind of drive the bus, and you're just telling us which way we go. So we're really looking forward to that. I don't know if I have anything else to add, except that, again, we are super excited to be here. I'm gonna be here full time. I've been here since middle April. So if you see me walking around, you have questions, stop me, say, hey, Rich, got a question. What's going on with this next year? I can definitely let you know, okay? But yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'll pass it off to Amanda. Does she have anything or?
So, one other thing I did want to mention, did you mention Denny's?
No, we didn't.
So Paul's downstairs will become Denny's. Denny's on campus is called the Den, so I know that's going to be a little confusing, but it will be the Den at Paul's. And the Artisan Cafe in CFA in College of Fine Arts will be a student-run cafe. So all of you entrepreneurial spirits out there, get in touch with Aramark and see if you can be chairman and CEO of the Artisan Cafe. Yes, young lady.
My question was, like, is this still Black and Gold or is it a whole different company?
Whole different company.
What's the name of
Aramark is the name of the, so Chartwell's is the name of the current dining service provider. Black and Gold was just a name they gave to the catering division.
it? Oh, so what is this?
So this will be Aramark. Tiger Hospitality will be the catering division. But you will not see any changes. We have confirmation that everyone in the catering unit has accepted a position with Aramark. And let me also say that, okay? If you're worried about people losing their jobs, okay, all hourly associates, provided they pass a background check, will be offered employment with Aramark, correct? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Two other questions. I have two other questions. So you were talking about how the Chick-fil-A, you have like 3 combos that accept the Tiger Meals. What are the other options that don't? Like, how is that paying going to support?
I'm sorry.
So like, let's say I go to Chick, but I don't want one of the 3 combo options. How can I still use, what, I just have to use dining dollars?
Yeah, you'd have to use some of your dining dollar.
And so
Now, let me just make this. There's 3 options at Chick-fil-A, but there are 37 total Tiger Meal options across campus. So I won't guarantee you every location is gonna have Tiger Meals, but the majority of locations will have Tiger Meals. And if my friend Meredith had gotten my PowerPoint up there, I could have showed you all the places and everything, but there are 37 different Tiger Meal options. So, you know, we've done the best we can to replace that meal equivalency, which we know is something that's being taken away at this point.
as one of the last question is, so you're talking about the local partners working at Innovation Kitchen, will that work in tangent with Tiger Meals too, or will it be down the dog?
You know, Tiger Meals. is gonna be accepted.
Yeah, Tiger Meals will be accepted in most locations except like the C store, so the 24/7 automated store. So we'll have options that you can choose when you walk up and pay, or we'll also have Grubhub mobile ordering, and we'll have some order pay kiosks that are in the union, so you'll be able to use a meal, a Tiger meal in those. You just have to select from that menu.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just looked at some of these meal plans here. I see you have the silver, gold, and platinum one. I see the price difference between silver and gold is about $300 per semester, and then between gold and platinum is another $300. One dining dollar is equivalent to $1 US, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so if the platinum plan is 3,500, but you're giving 200 dining dollars more, it's $300 US more for the whole plan, but you're only offering 200 dining dollars more. That doesn't essentially make sense, and that's the
Well,
same difference between
well,
the silver and gold.
Yeah. But basically, the other difference is the additional flexibility you're getting with the Tiger meal. So you get 7 Tiger meals instead of 4.
So 3 Tiger meals is $100.
Well, 3 Tiger meals a week, 16 weeks, that's 48 meals.
Okay. So for each one of these, right, the all access meals, do they still have an equivalence?
No, there is no meal equivalency.
Okay, so you have to use dining dollars for,
You're gonna have to, if you're going outside the dining hall, you're gonna have to use dining dollars or Tiger meals.
okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So you mentioned new restaurant like that jerk, will that be happening next semester or longer than that, next semester?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna vary with the partners we have. It's gonna vary which partners we have each semester, but we're working hard to get that jerk, Althea's was first. So as we get them, we're gonna incorporate them. You know, obviously there's some paperwork, some details that we have to work out with this company.
But yeah, it will start next semester.
We've had a lot of issues in the past with racism against certain employees, primarily by management. How do you all plan on addressing issues like this that arise?
So I actually, diversity, equity, inclusion is an important part of our business, of making sure that we manage an inclusive environment. I actually, have taken steps towards like bettering myself and being a champion of that. I have a certificate in diversity and inclusion from Cornell and a women's leadership certificate from UD. So I think it's really important that we, have an inclusive lens in everything that we do, right? Making sure that we, one, set our expectations and what it looks like to manage in an environment where people are different, and we respect that. We want differences to come to the table because it makes us better, it makes us grow, it makes us challenge, you know, ourselves and what should we be doing, what are programs we should be offering, so on and so forth, right? So it's really important. There is going to be challenges that come up. There's going to be employee issues or other pieces. So we'll handle those directly as they come up. We'll manage through them. We'll provide training and tools. So one of our big plans for the summer is to go through welcome back trainings, onboarding, customer service training, diversity, equity, inclusion training. So all of this will be part of our onboarding. So we're going to set the expectations with our team to make sure that they understand what the expectations are. And then we're going to manage and hold accountable to that in an inclusive way.
Thank you.
Good question.
Alright, so I had a question, because I know for like this semester, the dining halls close relatively early, like at 7 p.m. in West Village, 9 p.m. So I know since a lot of students, like you were mentioning about food insecurity, may only rely on the dining halls to get their food. I was wondering if y'all were gonna extend the dining hours potentially next year, so, because I know a bunch of people have night classes, so they won't be able to go past like 7 or even 9 currently. So are y'all planning on extending the dining hall hours by any chance?
There are no plans, right? The plans are now to keep the dining hall hours the same. That being said, you know, based upon student feedback, anything can change. The one thing I did want to mention is the one additional opportunity in the dining halls will be to-go menus. So we have not allowed to-go meals in the at dining halls. To-go meals will be available for one swipe, just as if you came in. The only caveat is we're going to have self-contained sustainable containers that you have to use. You will not be allowed, especially with, well, health department will not allow you to bring your own container in. So you'll get a disposable container to put your meal in, reusable. Right, not disposable, reusable container. The next time you come in and you want it to go meal, you bring the dirty one back. It goes through the washer, you're given a fresh clean. So, you know, hopefully if you're in a situation where you have a night class and maybe you can grab a to-go meal before and heat it up after. And as I said, we can take a look at the hours. The problem is the dining hall is awfully expensive. It's a big place to keep open if only 25 people show up. So, you know, if the business is there, we'll stay open. Already got you one. Let me get it. I'll come back to you. Oh, right.
I heard you guys mention bringing Grubhub back, so we no longer be using Boost or both, or how would that work?
Correct. Grubhub.
Grubhub.
I had a question regarding the bronze meal plan. So it says that the bronze only has all access meals only and 3 guest types. So does that mean that one that has the bronze meal plan would only be restricted to that? Can't use Chick-fil-A, et cetera, et cetera?
The bronze meal plan would be strictly for dining hall access.
So what about people that don't like the dining hall?
So the lowest meal plan is, the all access meal plan. It was to provide, a base meal plan. So if you choose to not eat in the dining halls, one of the other plans, that has the points and the Tiger meals would be a better selection. We will continue to address the concerns that you have in the dining halls, and we're open to feedback around if there's areas of opportunity or things to improve, so that you do like the dining hall next year. That's the goal.
So let me also address it. This is a good time to segue. So we had one of these meetings previously and had the same type of feedback as that. So what we have come up with to alleviate these types of concerns. So we are going to offer to, let me put my eyes on.
Yeah, you are here.
So this transition meal plan will only be available next year to sophomores, juniors, and seniors that are in mandatory housing. So if you're in mandatory housing and you're required to have that weekly plan, and when I say sophomore, junior, or senior, I'm not talking about how many years you've been here at Towson. I'm talking about your academic status. So you don't have your 30 credits, you're not considered a sophomore. If you don't have your 60, you're not considered a junior. So we have decided to offer a 160 meal block plan, which is basically the equivalent of what you would have received value-wise on the current 14 meal plan week. So we're gonna do 160 block meal plan, so if you select that plan, you can eat every meal outside the dining hall if you want. So part of this is, I want you to realize we listen to you when we come to these meetings, and we will make adjustments. Okay, so next year, it's eligible to sophomores, juniors, and seniors in mandatory housing. The following year, it will only be offered to juniors and seniors. And the year after that, it's gone. So this is just a transition meal plan for people that are used to the meal equivalency and the flexibility that you have with the current meal plans to transition until you're onward from the university. I do ask two things from you. If you select this 160 block plan. Number one, do not post it all over social media. Because as I mentioned, it's only available to sophomores, juniors, and seniors in mandatory housing. So if you are in that group, once meal plans open up for purchase on July 1, you will receive an email about this meal plan saying you are eligible to select this meal plan. Plus, when you go into the meal plan portal, it will be available for you to purchase. The second favor I ask, as Amanda said, we have a new dining service provider. So if you select this 160 block plan, do me a favor, and the first month, use at least 2 of your meals in the dining halls. And then every one of you has a business card of either myself or Meredith, and send us an email and say, hey, things haven't gotten any better. Things are better. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. Please try the dining halls out. Give our Aramark a chance, and also give us your feedback.
Thanks, yeah. I'm just joking, the mic was there. But, so with the block plan, Tiger Meals and other access meals, you get 100 of either or, right? Or what?
With the 160 block or the 100 block plan, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can use it as the 100 block plan, you can use as a meal swipe to go into the dining hall or a Tiger meal.
Right, so that's kind of to answer Sabina's question. If you don't like the dining food, which I've tried it, I love that, I think you'll like it. If you don't, you can just get a block plan and don't go to the dining hall. That's your choice. But there are students with allergies or whatever reason they don't want to go to other like Chick-fil-A's and stuff, and they would prefer to go to allergy stations that are often in dining halls, so that kind of benefits those students. But I would also just like to echo Gisella's point. I would recommend maybe like a pilot in the beginning, like when you guys first get here rather than doing it later, because this plan does drive more students, it appears, into the dining halls, which isn't really a problem. But if we're driving them away from the late night options like Chick-fil-A and other things that would use Tiger meals that would exhaust relatively quickly, dining halls should be open later for those students that would rely on the later options that now, they would have to use Tiger meals for. So I would just offer that recommendation on this.
I have 4 things. So first, since we're on the block plans and blocks, you mentioned this 160 block meal plan. What's the price of that?
$3,050, and it comes with 50 dining hours. We basically priced
cheaper than your platinum plan?
Yes, we basically priced it what the price of the 14 meal per week plan would be this year with the CPI increase.
So I like this card. This card is nice. I'm thank you for bringing it, but what is the full overview of how much all of this costs? Because the numbers up here, and I'm sitting here doing this, and this is the same question my fellow senator just asked, these numbers don't make sense to the point where this amount right here gets this amount per semester. So I was just wondering, is there a way where students are able to fully get a full outline of how much these plans cost and where exactly is the money going to when we pay that $3,500?
Well, I mean, that's exactly what the meal plans cost. Okay, so
Is there like an itemized detail of more detail?
no, there's no more, I mean, I can, basically, you know, we price the base meal plan. And then the other ones cost more for the flexibility and the dining points that you're getting.
When it comes to catering, and you mentioned that we're changing catering companies. Does that
Well,
mean-
Well, yeah, we're changing dining service providers and they do handle the catering as well, yes.
So does that mean that the price of catering will go down to an amount, or is it gonna stay the same, or is it gonna go up?
We have a base catering menu, and then we also have like student organization opportunities and menus also. And then we do encourage partnerships for different things. So having events in the dining hall and partnering and those kind of things too. So anybody's interested, I see some head nods, so anybody's interested in doing that. But the catering, so the catering is very similar. But then there's just some student menus and some other pieces that are in there.
So is it changing any, so it's not changing any price? So it is changing in price, or it's not changing in price?
The catering price, so I don't know if I compared the exact, the catering price is staying relatively flat to what the current catering menu are, but our menu is different. So it's not like, it's not the same exact menu. We have a different menu and a slightly different structure. We do use cater tracks. We use the same system to order through. It's similar pricing structure.
So I have a question about the all access meals, and then I'll ask you another one about the block plan. So as for the all access meals, right, this year I didn't have a meal plan, right, because of the price, and that's why I'm asking a lot of questions, but I often got swiped in by some of my friends who did have meal plans, where they tapped the card and then tapped it again because they have a limited amount of meal swipes. So now that they have all access meals for the whole week, if they were mandatory housing, how would you guys prevent people, what would we actually, to reframe my question, would we still be allowed to tap that card twice and get two?
No.
Okay, and
So there are guest meals. So there's 3 guest meals with each plan, so they could bring you in with a guest meal. But obviously with unlimited meals, we can't allow them to have 10 people in with them to go into the dining hall.
okay, and I also have a question regarding, like, just to follow up. So if you can't tap your card twice, right? Is there gonna be a certain cool down period
Yeah.
between your swipes?
Yes,
How long is that?
15 minutes.
15 minutes between your swipes? Oh, wow. And also, I wanted to ask you a question regarding those who choose like a block plan, if they're not in the mandatory housing, right? So I see like a block 100, block 75, block 50, block 25. I did some math, and the average of all of these, it still equates to about $12.50 a swipe, right? $12.50 per tiger meal. So even though you're giving us those options, for example, in Chick-fil-A, where you can have a certain meal for one swipe, we're still essentially paying $12 to $13 to get that meal.
Well, the 100 block plan
Mhm.
comes with 200 dining dollars.
That's still not enough to, it's,
But when you're trying to calculate price per meal, you have to deduct the dining dollars from the total meal price, which is $1,200.
Mhm.
So yes, you're paying $10 a meal for a block plan. Oh.
I just have a question for this meeting. Yes, one is, will you be able to like buy the guest wives? Like once you're on as low as it's from like your block time or your meal plan?
No, we don't allow purchase of additional gas.
So I've always wondered why probably meal weeks start on a Friday morning. It seems like they're gonna be kind of, you know why?
No, I don't know why. When I got here, the meal week was, do you want the meal week to be Sunday to Saturday? I know, I mean, that is something we can change. Because there's no rhyme or reason why the meal week starts on Friday and ends on Thursday. That's the way it's been since I've been here. But once again, if you guys would prefer to have it Sunday to Saturday, that's something we could absolutely change with your input.
Two things real quick, one for you and one for the regional director. For the dining hall, with the to-go menu option, are the dining halls still all you can eat? Or if you're doing to-go, is it?
Well, it's not all you can eat if you're doing to go, because you can only put so much in.
Well, yeah, for sure, but like, is it set meals?
Oh, no, you get a box and you go fill up your box however you want.
Okay, I was just confused because you said it was a to-go menu, so I was like. okay.
No, I should have said that to go is an option now. There is no set menu for to go.
Yes, sir, I understand. And then, to cycle back to the, equity and inclusion piece that Director Johnson brought up earlier. I was speaking to, some of our current dining employees, that did express concern that issues with management will remain the same with the new dining provider. And so I wanted to know, if you have any, specific in-depth, design plans as to how to address employee concerns, how to address managerial staff, and how they work with their employees to make this a more, hospitable working environment.
I can't really speak to the incumbent, right? And I really want to look forward. I don't want to look back, and I don't want to diminish anything that they've done over their past 40 years that they've been here, right? So I want to be transparent that I really can't speak on the past. What I can speak on is the future and how we will have similar managers, but we will have different. So Rich and I are brand new, right, to this university. Rich and I share very similar but different values, right? Rich at Shippensburg was on his diversity, equity, inclusion board for the university also, right? So like-minded in that diversity, equity, inclusion is important. We will take those and follow our processes as they are brought and as we see. So we're not just going to wait for employees to come to us. We're also going to understand and do our own assessments in our own in the locations and address, correct. And if they can't be corrected, then there's other steps that we can take right within an organization. But what's happening now, I can't really speak to, but I can say that we are committed to having a fair and equitable work environment. And we look forward to partnering with the associates to make them feel excited, comfortable, and valued to come to work.
You know, and as part of the, you know, when I mentioned earlier, all of the Chartwell's hourly associates will be retained. Not all of them, I mean, part of the proposal process was each vendor had to submit who their key personnel was going to be. So, you know, Rich is new. There's a new executive chef coming from University of Delaware. So you'll see a lot of similar faces, but on the upper management side, you'll see some different faces and some different philosophies and you know, once again, if things happen and concerns arise, they should not only be brought to the attention of Verimark, but they should be brought to the attention of the university, and Aramark reports directly to Dr. Hurt, the VP of Student Affairs. So, you know, if you have concerns about that, once Aramark takes over, that should go either to the DEI office or to Dr. Hurt. Oh, we have a question from this side.
Oh, so, I mean, I know we've been talking about this for a lot, so I think it's a good meal plan. I feel like if you don't really agree with it, you can just live off campus or get a block plan. Personally, when I was a freshman, I had the block 100 and it worked out perfectly fine for me. So, you know, the points pretty much can eat wherever you want, 100 times. And you're not even in school like a full 100 days, so it's like, I think it's enough, so. And if you got it like that to get the platinum, I think you should. If you don't, get the block plan, or like I said, live off campus, and that's all I had to say. If y'all were moving on.
Only one question. You say you might be getting rid of APP all at once.
Yes, we may.
What would you be replacing it with?
Panera. That is the current, that is what Aramark submitted in their proposal was year 2, switch it to a Panera to go. Because as you know, there's very little seating in that area too, so it would be a Panera to go.
So with, the den replacing pause, will it be open as late as pause?
Well, the den is currently, yeah. Here. Before you start clapping, let me put a caveat to that. No. Aramark has proposed that it stay open later. The problem is, we can only be open later if the building is open.
Right.
Because if the building's closed, there is an outside entrance into Paul's that we could use, but you'd have no access to bathrooms. So the health department will not allow us to be open if the building's not open. So once again, Dr. Hurt is in charge of Events and Conference Services, who runs the University Union and the West Village Commons. So if you want later hours, don't keep the building open, and we'll be more than happy to serve you food.
I think the building is open later currently than it currently closes.
It's 11.
No, it's 11.
But it will definitely be open earlier. Right now, it's open at what, 4:30? Yeah.
So currently, most of the workers under dining are in a union. Are you gonna plan on ensuring that the workers can still unionize if they choose to?
We have records.
They'll remain in the same union.
Thank you.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but all of their sick and vacation time will, anything,
So last week, we held a labor conversion. So we converted 289 associates. So as of July 1, it'll be a seamless transition. We also accepted union cards to recognize their union. That we had 40 HR professionals here for 3 days. So all the associate had to do was make an appointment. They sat with them for an hour to one or less or longer, and followed up with their paperwork and did all of those things. So that's part of it, is about how we transition team members. It's important for that first impression, and we get that. And so we'll honor their seniority date, their rate of pay if it's higher than the current wage scale, it's within the union, and their vacation, all of those things. So all of that is honored. So yes.
get you next.
Okay, so, concerning the all access meal, right? This is my last question.
Go ahead.
My last question. So if you have students, with the all access meal swipes, coming in, you know, you said a cool down period of 15 minutes, so someone can come into the dining hall 4 times a day if they want to, right?
6 times a day if you want.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, however many. Okay, what are you doing to ensure that the food quality stays the same, that all the same stations are gonna be open?
All right, now. I mean, well. No.
So yes, we have a plan for all of the stations in each of the dining facilities that we kind of laid out. So there are some changes to stations. Like West Village will have Naked Foods that Rich talked about. That's an allergen friendly station that we're adding. So we have different stations outlined for all of those places. So the way that I don't think the meal plan structure changes how like the stations individually operate. We're just changing some of those stations out. So we will continue to market that, and we've had some information go out around just the transition. We've had some information go out around food insecurities. We have local restaurant row coming out, so we'll continue to kind of tell those stories and like what we're going to provide in each of the locations.
Let me just piggyback on his question. So my office is in West Village, and I noticed when I go down there, when I'm leaving at dinner time, the all-day breakfast place is not open. Is that gonna?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, so we'll have made to order all day, made to order breakfast all day. It'll be kiosk enabled, so you don't have to stand there and wait. You can order, and you can go get the rest of your stuff and then come back and pick up your food when it's done. But so that'll be we're calling it Commons Cafe, so it'll be all day.
So I was gonna ask, what was the worth of the one tiger meal? Like, well, how much is that worth? Is it still worth like the $6?
No.
What have you do?
No, so I guess you can't really put a worth on the tiger meal because, you know, combo number one at Chick-fil-A may cost $10 and combo number 3 may cost $9.50. So it's whatever, but you're getting a full meal.
Right.
Okay, so you're getting and once again, everyone here has either my business card or Meredith, my marketing manager's business card, or some of you just have a half sheet of paper with our email addresses on it. But if you send us an email, we can send you the slides which show you every location that's going to have Tiger meals and what those meals are going to be at the start of the semester. So that doesn't mean that that's what they're going to be all year long. You know, I don't remember the combo meals at Chick-fil-A, but if combo 1, 3, and 5 is on the Tiger Express, but you like combo meal number 6, say something. You know, and maybe next month it'll be combo meals 2, 4, and 6 instead of 1, 3, and 5. So that can be switched up all the time. You know, which combo meals are part of the Tiger Meal program.
Also, you mentioned the Tiger Express. So what is the Tiger Express?
That's our 24/7.
Oh, Tiger Express is going to be the West Village Common Market. It's going to be renamed Tiger Express, and it's going to be the 24/7 convenience store.
Okay, thank you.
If there are no more questions, we will move on. Are there any more questions? Okay, we'll give another round of applause.
Thank you all.
Just wanted to say thank you again. That was confirmed to be the longest Q&A session that I'm assuming in history. So great job. We definitely appreciate you all taking the time to speak with us. We'll now move on to public participation. Is there anybody in the gallery? President Copeland.
It's totally up to you guys. But it is the last day of the semester. So I would recommend to strike all communications except for executive board and advisory communications. I respect the will of the Senate, but I do know BJ's Brewhouse, the restaurant is looking forward to having us. So it's up to the Senate, but I'll make the recommendation.
Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Garland.
Motion to cut the communications except for executive board and the advisor.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Senator Brown.
Yes. I said,
We'll now move to a vote to cut all communications except the executive board and advisory hearings. All those in favor? Please, guys, please, bro. All those in favor, hands up. All those opposed?
oh,
Fantastic. With that, communications will be struck except for the executive board and advisory hearings. We'll now move to communications advisory remarks.
Coming up front for the last one, and if you could really just entertain me here. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Woo. I won't be emotional tonight, but in my last remarks, wanted to say congratulations. Y'all made it to the end of the year. So I do want to give a particular and very special shout out to Push and P. Let's and this administration this year, in my first year as a staff member at TU and my first year of advising Student Government Association here, has been fantastic. I've done a lot of learning, a lot of growing, and I think built a lot of really great relationships with so many of you. And I don't put it past anything to know that I'm in a privileged position to get to work with all of you day in and day out. And I just want to share just a couple of words for our executive board. And I'm going to start with Eddie. So you new to the crew, right? So in the exec meetings, just the last couple of weeks, but I think you specifically stepped up. You were also a part of the leadership team for Senate for a little bit. And in our first interactions together, you specifically showed me that you were the right person for the job. So congrats. To Zakia, you really put SGA on the map. Your organization, your commitment to creating really meaningful and exciting experiences for the student body really showed. So the social aspect of making sure that students could engage and have access to student administration and student leadership really did something special. So thank you for all the work you did this year.
yeah, come on.
Myra, the money lady. So, y'all, Myra put together not only a close to $2 million budget for us to function off of, but helped dozens and dozens of student organizations be successful by allocating their funds and ensuring they have what they did, along with the help of the Senate. But Myra, your leadership financially has been really, really necessary. And has been impactful in ways that you probably couldn't see from day to day, but I think our campus culture benefited from all of the leadership you gave. Damon, I have so many thoughts, special words. In good ways, but I think for me specifically, you challenged and reminded me that I have work to do. So y'all, I'm not a perfect person. I know it may look like that sometimes. But you challenged me and you made sure that I was being accountable to my actions. I was able to do the same for you, and we stayed straight and cool the whole time. I appreciate you for always making sure that I was doing what was best for not just you and I, everyone in SGA and for the student body. So thank you. And last but not least for now, Jordan, there's not enough words. I am grateful, I'm overwhelmed by being in connection with you on a regular basis, not just for our one-on-one interactions, but in every administrator I talk to who specifically share about your character, your leadership, and your commitment to creating space for literally everybody. So thank you for your leadership this year. You really showed up. You really showed out. Woo! Not gonna cry, but you did an amazing job. All of you pushing P, all of you, the J board, the Senate, the executive board, the cabinet, all of y'all, you did an amazing job this year. Yeah. And our, I shouldn't have said last but not least, but our Senate leadership, I also have to give a shout out to who, you know, Chidi has to sit in the front and talk to y'all every day, right? Like manage the Robert's Rules of Order. Oriofe, who stepped up to try and represent us at the USM level. Y'all have just committed so much time and energy running committee meetings, running this space, and I am grateful. Thank you for entertaining my Tiger Tuesday and my school spirit. Y'all have made me feel like this is a space that I want to be in, like I'm home, like I'm part of this family, and I appreciate you. I yield my time.
President Oakley. Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. Got the energy. It's hard to follow Carolyn's remarks, but y'all know how I feel about you guys. I really love each and every one of you. And yeah, you guys mean a lot to me. Nothing that we've accomplished this year would have been possible without all of your hard work and support. And I mean that really none of it. You guys worked extremely hard, and I couldn't be more proud and honored to work alongside all of you guys. So thank you, and give yourselves a round of applause because we done. Just a few announcements. Applications for the 100th third administration are live. The priority deadline is May 17th. I would love to see all of you guys here again next year. So make sure you apply. If you haven't done your transition materials, you better think twice before applying because, yeah, that's what people stop doing. But yeah, please get your transition materials, you guys. And then we have, I don't know if I've announced it last year, but we are officially this fall having a PhD in autism study that was fully approved. And that's going to be really exciting to offer on campus. It's a collaborative degree that we're going to be offering as a university. And then I have a few congratulations as well. Congratulations to Senator Harris. Our advisor was elected by her colleagues to serve in the staff senate. So congratulations on that. Officially my partner in shared governance now, making some good trouble. We also have to congratulate Vice President Crosby. Senator Crosby was elected to serve as Vice President for the University System of Maryland Student Councils, VP of Undergraduate Affairs. So it's a huge deal, and I'm proud of you for that. We're ready for our last member of the week. Last member of the week. This person, okay. I'm not gonna do it yet. I gotta say a few words. But this person is very special. They came into SGA kind of in a weird transition phase, not much transition materials from their predecessor, not really knowing kind of what to do. But yeah, they really took their role and was able to do a lot of impactful work within their department. So congratulations and thank you so much to Director. With that, I do. For the last time.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. My official last Tiger Tuesday, because I will not be in SGA. But I do want to say thank you to all of you, Director, Senator, Justice. All of you did such an amazing job this semester and this last semester, so the whole year. Even if you were late with funding requests, you know, it's all love. Yeah, Director Sutton and you. However, I did want to say, remind everyone, if you did not see Chief of Staff Moody's email, the last day for office hours, like the last day they will be accounted for is Friday, this Friday, May 12th, unless you are told otherwise, specifically the PR team and special projects. But yeah, that I yield.
Attorney General Ryan.
Hope you have a blessed day.
No, but I just want to say I appreciate all of y'all. Like, this really feels like a family. When I joined last semester, I transferred here. I didn't really know anyone. I knew like Ronnie and Bree prior because we live in the same area, but I didn't talk to them. I didn't talk to anyone. I was really quiet, and just over time, y'all been embracing me with open arms, and I appreciate that. And, I just made the transition from senator to the chair, and now I'm on the e-board. Like, it's definitely been crazy to see, but I didn't see none of this for myself at the beginning of the year, but it's just been such an experience. I'm thankful for all of y'all.
Okay, so Chief of Staff Moody's next. So before we get into her report, I'm sure most of you already saw, but we had a card we passed around for her. So we just want to share a token of appreciation for Zakia, being that it's going to be her last GA, she's about to graduate. So being like our longest tenured member, she was in council, then NSD. I think I was better in NSD, but anyway. Then NSD, then she moved to special projects, and now two-time Chief of Staff. The work that we've been able to accomplish within not just this administration, but all administrations, since you've been here, wouldn't have been able to happen without you. We're definitely gonna miss you next year. You're gone, and but we definitely appreciate everything that you've been able to do for us. So, we love you, Zakia.
Jaden, stand up. Gisella, Chidi. Am I missing anybody? Okay, so all of these people were on the freshman council with me my freshman year. Oh, she is. Guy, can you stand up as well? Wasn't there that much. The key about all of us into SJ, our freshman year through the freshman council. So if you were interviewed and hired by anyone that's standing up, can you also stand up as well, just to show Zakia's impact? So I interviewed a lot of you guys. If I interviewed you, stand up. If they just to really show your impact, SJ would like fall down and crumble as an organization without Zakia's support. And this administration of the last one, she really has worked tremendously. A lot of late hours, a lot of weekends, a lot of summers, a lot of breaks. A lot of times when other people weren't working, Zakia was working to make sure that SJ operated, and we really would not be here without all of your hard work. I wouldn't be here, and all these people standing before you today. I see some of y'all say that I know I interviewed. We definitely wouldn't be here without all of your hard work. I'm so proud of you and all you've accomplished in your collegiate career, and congratulations. Did you still want to get your report or?
Okay, that was really sweet, y'all. I'm really gonna miss y'all. That was emotional. Okay. Okay, stop. Well, like, oh my God, let me get a second. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so I just have a couple of announcements. Also, like, I really do appreciate all of you all. You guys can hear my final speeches at banquet and inauguration, so stay tuned. But remember that midnight brunch is this week. It's on Thursday, and we do need volunteers. This is gonna be like our last event. Last year was really, really super big, so we're definitely gonna need a lot of help. And then we're doing brunch gods food. So I know a lot of people are gonna show up. And then also just remember banquet is this Friday. The theme is all blue, so please come out in blue or white. And then it's at 6 p.m. in the South Campus Pavilion. And then inauguration will be next Tuesday at 5 p.m. in this building. So we don't have GA, but you are welcome to come to inauguration. Inauguration's not mandatory, but maybe y'all should be free since it's our GA time. And then, yes, transition materials, please just get them in. I'm still waiting on a few of you all. And then like President Colquitt said, you cannot apply to the 103 without sitting in your transition materials. So good luck, because I am reporting that. And then also just congratulations to all the seniors. We finally made it. We're so proud of y'all. Yes, like a lot of like bad grades, failed classes, missed classes. It's okay though, you know. We made it. We were walking across the stage. But yeah, with that I yield.
Right, now my report. Don't really have much to report. Like the kids said, midnight brunch Thursday It was very, very big last year. It's gonna be bigger this year because we have better food. No shade to black and gold, but definitely come out to that. No, I'm just saying, like, Orange God is better than black and gold. I think we can all agree. Anyways, but there's gonna be a sign up genius coming out soon for y'all to like sign up for times. If you work it, it counts as office hours, so you definitely should come. And it's already, see, all already did it. It's already included. Senator White.
I'm just ready for the motion.
Oh, no, I can answer. Yes, I just want to give another thank you to the Senate. We definitely had our ups and downs throughout the year. Definitely not what I expected when I originally became vice president. But you know, we definitely did it, from, you know, the start in the fall, from all of the trainings and bill writings to Carolyn screaming at me to get y'all together. I feel like we definitely got to the point that we're at now, and I definitely feel confident seeing that you guys tightened up, y'all did pretty well, especially over the last couple of months. I'm starting to see a lot of the bills that came out of the Senate. You guys been pretty proud, so I'm glad to say I was the vice president, you know, and that you guys were, I would not. But I'm glad to say, you know, I was the vice president and you guys were the senators that I hope be. So I really appreciate all of the time, hard work that y'all put in. It didn't go unnoticed. Thank you guys.
Oh, we suspended that.
Okay, yes.
We did, right.
With that, I yield.
On that note, are there any motions on the floor? Oh, this is the floor.
You have an opinion of the court. Last Friday, the judicial branch, we had a appeal meeting with ISA, International Student Association, and we denied it. And really quick, I just want to do a special shout out to my judicial branch. I love y'all.
Go ahead, the floor. Senator White.
All right.
That's crazy.
So guys, if y'all didn't sign the keyword card, just sign the card.
I want to sign it.
Senator White.
All right. Last motion of the year is,
So.
I'm making a motion to suspend Senate rules and review Senate Bill number 9.
Is anyone second? Senator Rahimi? With that, I'm moving to a vote on reviewing Senate Bill number 9. All those in favor? Hands up. Opposed? Hands up, please. Abstaining? Let the motion has been denied.
All right, more again.
Senator Crosby? Motion to inquire on Senate Bill number 9. Does anyone second? Appropriations Chair Sonia. With that, I'm moving to a vote on inquiring on Senate Bill number 9. All those in favor? Hands up, please. Hands up in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? With that, the bill has been denied. Senator White?
So it's 6:27. We have 30 minutes. We are here till 7 o'clock. This is the last year, last time on any of us half of us will probably be here. And this is an important bill. This is adding service hours. This is something that orgs on campus still do. Do more than us as senators.
Senator White, there's a point on the floor. Yeah, go quick.
I just wanted to know the J worker way in, they just voted not to review it on, not to break certain rules, and then also not to review it on first reading. So what's the status of the order?
Right before.
Point of order. And
Recognize it's important.
Senator White. I have the floor. I don't know. There is a point, so I think now. Was there a point of information or was that a point of order? He said a point of order. Proceed, please. I saw. You have the floor, yes. So with this standpoint in mind, we have 30 minutes. We don't adjourn until 7 o'clock. And I think it's only right for us to sit here and at least discuss and vote on the bill. Even if we don't all support it, I think it's our duty to at least sit here and vote on it and discuss it. Vice President Edwards. I haven't yielded yet because I'm about to make a motion. Okay, so I'm making a motion again to suspend Senate rules and review Senate Bill 9. I mean, yes, Senate Bill 9. Does anyone second that motion? Oh, okay. Vice President Edwards.
Can you do that, Jake? Can you do that? Can you make it the same motion
Point of
more
order.
times?
Point of order. Point of order.
Senator White.
We're on a vote at the moment in time.
We're not at a vote.
And at
The motion was not seconded.
and the member of, he actually seconded.
Court of order, Senator White, to just your question, the motion was not seconded yet, so it wasn't officially in motion to actually be voted on.
I'll agree with it.
Proceed.
I feel this is what's fair.
Proceed. Is there a motion, are you continuing your motion? Advisor Harris?
So to answer the question about can you revisit, a quick Google search tells us technically, yeah, did you find it?
Yeah.
I go to the J board.
Deputy Chief Justice Adenuga? If you don't have an official standing, I'm going to yield back to Advisor Harris. Advisor Harris?
Okay, so the motion to reconsider, so if you want to reintroduce a motion that has already been voted on, you can, but only from someone who voted on the prevailing side. So in this case, so it's anyone who voted no because the motion failed. So anyone who voted no, which was the prevailing vote, anyone who voted no can reintroduce a motion. Anyone who voted yes cannot. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Advisor Harris, for the clarification. So with that being said, anybody that voted no for the motion that Senator White would like to reintroduce the motion? From Appropriation Chair Lasagna. Sorry, bro, Mike, please.
I move to review Senate Bill number 9. Yeah, move to bring Senate rules.
Does anyone second?
Second.
Senator White seconds. With that, we're now moving to a vote on suspending Senate rules to review Senate Bill number 9. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining. With that, the motion has been passed, and now we begin to review Senate Bill number 9. It was 6-5. Oh, 6 in favor, 5 opposed, and 0 abstained. Appropriations Chair Lasagna.
Call the question.
Okay, does anyone second the call to question? Senator Brahimi. Can someone pass me my mic?
Oh, I will draw.
Okay, with that, when I vote on the call to question, all those in favor?
Point of order, you withdraw.
Oh, you do the motion for that? Would anyone like to second that call to question? No, someone doesn't have to second it. Senator Sedgwick.
I'll second.
Okay, with that, I'm beginning to vote on the call to question at hand. All those in favor? Opposed?
Dang.
Opposed? Hands up, please. Abstaining? With that, the call to question motion has been denied.
it was 110. Senator White.
I yield to, Senator
Robinson.
Yes, Senator Robinson. Speak on your bill. I yield to you. You have full time now. You have lunch. I never gave you a time limit. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Tiger Tuesday. I know y'all ready to get out of here. Essentially, this bill was brought to me, early on in the semester by VP Edwards on behalf of Director Johnstone, who had concerns that our SGA was not, meeting enough, service hours. Last semester, I guess it came to Director Johnstone's attention that our SGA only had a max of 115 community service hours, in comparison to another student organization on campus, that had achieved 223. And so the concern was that we ought to increase the number of community service hours that we require each of our SGA members to have every semester in order to lead the way in community service, being that we are a student government association.
Director Johnstone.
Yes, so I am the main sponsor of this bill. I got the hourly requirement number from our director of community outreach, Toronto. This semester, we have 52 members, current members, excluding freshmen and transfer council, as they do not count for service hours for our organization. Last semester, we had more, and yet only met 115 hours. The purpose of this bill is not to solve this issue because it is a very big issue that takes many different methods to solve. But this is simply one thing that we can do to consistently get our hours up. There are three main categories of students in SGA: those who do more than is needed for service hours, those that do the minimum required, which is totally fine, we're all very busy, et cetera, and those that do not log their hours at all. This bill specifically targets the second group, those that do the bare minimum, because if we go and exceed the bare minimum hourly requirement of 3 to 5, we could theoretically increase how many hours we have. And with additional accountability measures put in place, we could, greatly increase the amount of hours that we give to our community and to the students. We were elected or hired to serve our student body, to serve the community around Towson and in Towson. And I don't think there's any better way to do that than through community service. I have talked about this bill to some people. There are some concerns that I've heard. One being there aren't enough service events. I think the Department of Community Outreach has done a really good job at ensuring that every weekend there is at least one event happening, one that usually spans multiple hours. There are also plenty of student orgs that focus directly on, service. I can list a few off the top of my head. There's Food Recovery Network, which meets 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 at ABP on Fridays. There is the SEO, which meets from 4 to 5 on Fridays, and they usually have a service event. You can follow on Instagram to ensure that you see whatever's going on. And then there's also the Urban Farm, which meets every Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 5. And you can easily get an hour and come back and be here on time for pre-meeting or, whatever you need to get done. This is only a 2-hour increase. We are still not hitting what some other orgs are doing on campus. I know, for instance, that Greek club, every member is required to have 6 hours of service per semester. So, that is just one issue that we've seen. Accountability is a different issue, and that is one that needs to happen via conversations, not via legislation. So this is just one thing that I would like to do to ensure that we are upholding this pillar that we have. Any questions at all?
I understand.
Senator White.
So I'm totally 100% in favor of this bill. And I'm going to outline a few things that he hit. But the first thing is service hours anywhere in this community of Towson, whether it's for the county, whether it's for a church, whether it's for Towson University, there are options to complete service hours. And fraternities and sororities have been using those options all around Towson for years, between their own service hours and their own service learning projects and others as well. So second thing is, and many of my colleagues here have said, well, I don't see the point of this bill because we do over hours anyways. this bill is one to push the members that don't do what what some of us here have done. I've done 6 hours. I know you've done 5 hours. I know a few of you have done 5, 4, 6, 7, 8 hours. This is bringing everyone up that has not done those hours to that point. We are the biggest governing body and the biggest organization on campus. To me, it kind of seems a little hypocritical that we are requiring orgs to do more service hours than us. We should not be doing, those orgs should not be doing more service hours than us. We should be doing more service hours than them. Doesn't make sense to me. With that, I call the question.
Anyone second? Senator Robinson?
Second.
Okay, does anyone, with that one, I'm moving to a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? Let the court question has passed and we'll now begin to vote on Senate Bill number 9 as a whole. All those in favor? Opposed? Hands up, please. Abstaining? With that, Senate Bill number 9 is passed. Congratulations, Senator Robinson. Okay, now that there's announcements, I have an announcement to make. For once in my last announcement, I'm staying up for this one. So this is my last time, doing announcements for the first time. But I want to say a personal thank you to Vice President Edwards, President Colquitt, AG Rhines, and my Treasurer Correa for just making my job a lot easier as President Pro Tem Board. I wouldn't be anything or anywhere where I'm at right now without my Senate, of course. Give them a round of applause, guys. Every single senator in this seat has fought for the right to be in this spot. We've been through budget allocation, other budget allocations, budget hearings, problems, this kind of hating on us, all these problems, we still stand strong. So I just want to say thank you to every single one of you guys. And of course, Advisor Harris. Advisor Harris is someone that challenged me in my role to grow as President Pro Tem Board, and I can't say thank you enough. So everyone's give her a round of applause as well. With that, I yield. Thank you. Director Cunningham.
Hi, y'all. We're just gonna do one last TikTok, and I'm sorry. No, this is a really fun TikTok, and I just really want everyone in it because it's gonna be really fun. Damon, you're the main character, so please, just like this one is going to literally take 10 seconds. Y'all don't have to do that. All y'all gotta do is stand there. That's it. I will literally promise. Only Damon got to speak part, and it's one word. Okay, so I really want all y'all to be here. Okay, thank you so much. Without you.
Surgery. I'll make a motion for adjourn.
Oh, no.
Does anyone second? I want to be clear, you don't have to second the motion. It dies after the least of seconds. So
Yes, question.
Is anyone taking the motion? Appropriation Chair Lasagna. With that one, I'm moving to a vote on adjourning. All those in favor? Hands up, please. Opposed? Abstaining? With that, the motion for adjourn has failed. Are there any other announcements? Advisor Harris?
Y'all are playing. So, because y'all are dressed in tiger gear, y'all know I need a photo for the gram, right? So after this and before we get to the TikTok, can we get at the end?
Thank you, the TikTok. Because they're all together, we're gonna take a picture.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Please stay pig. What? You.
Senator Brown?
Happy Tiger Tuesday, you all. All I wanted to say was. I was to.
Senator Lavin. With that one, I'm going to vote on adjourning. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? We're out.
Meet us at Texas Row House tonight. No.